Do I react sharply when planning to sue my sister because her toddler destroyed my PC for $4K and she said that I had to put protection against children in the apartment? Hello, Reddit. I'm G25 and to be honest, I'm on the verge of a breakdown. I need an outside view because my whole family behaves like I'm Hitler just because I stand my ground. So, I'm 25F, a student, a software developer, and often play computer in my spare time. I live alone in a one-room apartment which took years to turn into a cozy and functional space. I've been saving money for a long time to assemble a PC, a dream setup, 3 monitors, a custom mechanical keyboard, and orthopedic chair. In total, all this costs a little more than $2,000 and I took care of him like a damn child. Last week, my older sister 3OF asked if she could invade me for one night since her apartment is being disinfected and her husband was out of town. She has a 3-year-old son, Max, who, let's say, energetic. I love him, but still he's a little goblin, sowing chaos everywhere. I was against it, but she promised that she would not take her eyes off him and stay with me only one night. They came on Saturday afternoon, and it immediately became clear that she was not joking that Max was a punishment. In the first 10 minutes after arrival, he pushed for books off the shelf, dropped my pots with plants on the floor, and poured the juice on my carpet. I tried to stay calm. He's 3. I know. But I politely asked my sister not to let him into my office because my PC is there. She rolled her eyes and said, "He's just exploring a new place, it's okay," but she still closed the office door. Let's move on to Sunday morning. The day started with my scream. Max managed to wake up before his mother and sneak into the office, deciding that my setup was his new playground. He pulled one of the monitors off the table, breaking the screen. I shoved cookies into the ventilation holes of the PC case, I'm not kidding, pulled out the keyboard keys and painted my chair with an indelible marker. Is there a cherry on the cake? He poured apple juice inside the body. Inside. Having told you that I was silent. I meant dead silence. My sister came into the room, saw the scale of destruction, and just said, "Oh, no," in such a tone as if someone had dropped a cup of coffee. I started to fuck off, and she had the courage to say, "You should have protected the room from children if it was so important to you." My jaw dropped. I told her that 1. She knew he was not allowed to come in here. 2. This is my space, not a fucking kindergarten. 3. Protecting a $2,000 game setup from children is not a mandatory requirement for an adult living alone. She told me to calm down and added that he's just a child and things can be bought again. She said she doesn't have any money at the moment, but maybe in a few months she will be able to give me a couple of hundred. I replied that it wouldn't work that way and she should take full responsibility. She left being very irritated and now the whole family is tearing my phone. Mom said that I'm a materialist and I should understand that my nephew didn't want it. My father said that I should lock the door if it was so important. My brother really asked, "Why do you need 3 monitors at all? It's already to 2. I wrote an application to the insurance company, but there is a chance that the insurance will not cover it because in theory it is guest damage. I also told her that I would sue if she didn't pay. Now I receive messages from her in which she demands an apology from me for accusing her child of curiosity. I wrote that I will not file a lawsuit if she pays for the repair and replacement of components, or at least she meet me. And she blocked me, so do I react sharply if I'm going to sue my sister because of this? Update? Wow. For hours later, I woke up and saw it. My sister still hasn't unblocked me, but her husband turned to me to find out what happened. Sorry, I have nothing more to tell you so far, but I'll add an update when I can. Seriously, thank you for the ideas. My head has become less confused. Update 2. My sister's husband came out on me. As I mentioned earlier, we are looking for a possible solution to the problem. He is very understanding, like all of you. Also, to understand the situation with the office, my apartment is rather small, 33 square meters, so the landlord turned the old dressing room into a homemade office. It's strange, but the building is from the 40s, so apparently they decided to creatively divide the space or something like that. So, there is a living room my sister and child slept there plus kitchen I slept here plus office. Thank you all for your support. And for the reward. I really have no words to say how nice people are in the comments and in PM. Hello again? I just wanted to post a small update since almost a week has passed and some people asked what happened next. Things are going better, although it's damn strange and nothing is over yet, but that's where we are now. Last Saturday, my son-in-law came to see me to assess the damage by himself. He dragged Max the toddler with him, which made me furious at first, but he brought him for a reason. He asked Max to try to open the office askreddit door. The child couldn't do it. The door was too heavy. Maybe you can already guess what it's all about. The son-in-law offered to take the PC to the store that assembled it for me, just to check its maintainability. I agreed, but asked him to write it on paper just for my peace of mind. We have concluded a small agreement under which he is fully responsible for the PC while he is with him. Yes, it's just a formality and it won't matter, but it helped me feel much more confident. On Monday, he left the computer in the store and gave them my number. He also said that he quarreled with my sister because of how everything turned out to be real. I sent him my first post on Reddit. He read the comments and showed them to his sister. She still hasn't unblocked me, and judging by what I heard, she is not happy about the fact that my son-in-law listened to me. I also shared the post and some comments with my parents and brother since none of them believed me before. My parents didn't fully understand it yet, but at least they stopped blaming me. My brother has become more understanding, although for some reason he is more interested in the number of views of the post. I don't think any of them care, and I don't mind if they see it. Try better. In short, today I went to visit my PC. Today is Wednesday. The store said that he can still be saved. It requires very careful cleaning, replacement of a pair of fans and wires, but by some miracle all the main parts survived. The son-in-law said he would pay for everything. When I said that my sister said that she would not be able to pay even $100, he replied that she was lying. He also added that he was not sure whether Max was the culprit of the pogrom. He thinks the door was opened on purpose or my sister did it herself. Given the height of the body and the location of the crackers, it looks like the toddler couldn't do it alone. It turns out that she told him that I had a gambling addiction. I think for years ago I sometimes hung out in Genshin, and that all this can wake me up. For me it's a novelty. She always supported me, or at least behaved neutrally. I don't know why she decided so. So yes, we are here. My PC is being cleaned and repaired. My son-in-law will pay for everything. I'm still in my sister's block and she doesn't talk to me. To be honest, I'm still tempted to start taking action, especially if she really did it all on purpose. The court for small claims is still not excluded, depending on how the cases go. Thanks again to everyone who replied to the previous post. Watching how many people understand what happened really helped me not to bend to my family when I felt like I was going crazy. The same thought scrolls in my head. What if my sister did something with my setup on purpose? I don't want to believe it. It feels like I'm pulling an owl on the globe, but the more I think about it, the less it is, I guess. But then I remembered how she behaved when I asked her to take Max out of the office. Rolling of eyes and the phrase, "He's just curious," as if she didn't take any of this seriously. And now I hear from my son-in-law that, according to her, I have a crippling gaming, computer, some kind of addiction, and that I need to grow up. It's just strange. She used to be calm about it. I've never really understood games, but I knew it was important to me. If anything has changed, I don't know when or why. And if it was a very strange way to express your opinion or teach me a lesson, it sucks. You are not my mother. How about talking first instead? I don't want to rush conclusions, but the more I think, the less logical it seems that Max could have done all this alone. It's not normal if she accused her own son of it. So yes, I don't blame anyone directly, but now I have such an idea. And if my sister reads this, and I think it is, I'm ready to bet you'd really like to read the comments supporting you. I don't know why you blocked me. I don't know what's stuck in your head, but if you really had a hand in the destruction of my setup, regardless of whether it was on purpose or as a result of complete inattention. Let's go. Fuck you? You know, I worked hard to buy it. You know what this car meant to me, and you know I would never do something like that to your things. And if Max did it all by himself, I hope you follow him much better now. Not for me. For him? Reread the comments under the last post from other parents and people with younger siblings who obviously know more than you. That's all. Thank you for reading. A week later, the son-in-law quarreled with her and, well, she kicked him out of the house. That is, to the fullest, told him to go to hell, packed his things and threw him away, leaving him on the side of the road like a stray dog. He said that she was shouting that he was betraying her and choosing the side of this fucking Reddit bitch, that is me. She also accused him of collusion and cheating with me to publicly humiliate her, which, what? Since then, she has never let him see his son. No visits. No phone calls. She has gone into a mode of complete radio silence and is completely unattainable, threatens cops if he is nearby. She blocked me, my brother, even some distant relatives, and talks only with her parents who still accept her, but it seems to me only to be able to see Max. Meanwhile, I hear my sister telling me that I'm an unbalanced psychopath who made up this whole story. She told one of her nephews that I lured her child into the office as if in a trap. I don't know if it's due to the postpartum period or something has changed in her, or if she was just always vengeful and I didn't want to see it. But I'm scared. I'm afraid for her child. I'm scared for her husband. And yes, I'm also scared for myself because she decided to ruin her marriage and set the whole family against me just to cover up her lies. Parents want to hut it up, but I know her son-in-law wants to help her. I also want to help her, but I don't know where to start and what to do. Where should I start? Has anyone encountered a similar situation? I feel helpless because I know that she is an adult and has the right to do whatever she wants, but I fear for her safety and the safety of my nephew. The son-in-law wants a divorce and has already told my parents that he will take his son regardless of their approval. His relatives are furious because of mine, and I don't know which side I'm on because, yes, I think I brewed it. Is it fixable? If so, how? Who can I contact within the States? Is there anything I can do at all? Does anyone know? A few months later, the situation with my sister and her family continued to be tense. After the son-in-law finally decided to divorce, he filed a lawsuit for custody of his child. This decision not only changed the course of his life, but also made it the main target of attacks by his sister's family. He was surrounded by threats and insults coming from her parents and relatives. Meanwhile, your family remained virtually separated. Parents are still on the sister's side, justifying her actions by the fact that she has recently become a mother and is under stress. You feel more and more isolated. Someone from your relatives did not like your intervention, which they considered a betrayal. There were times when you thought about leaving your relationship with your family behind because the inaction of your environment in relation to the deterioration of your sister's condition deprived you of strength. 3 months have passed since the incident with the PC, and the son-in-law arranged a meeting to discuss the situation with your brother, parents, and you. At the meeting, he explained how important it was for Max to live in a safe and stable environment, and also stressed that his mother should undergo a course of treatment since his health depended not only on him but also on her. The sister, having learned about the meeting, initiated her own attempts to restore relations. She began to address the same relatives with whom you shared common memories, trying to create an image of a victim hiding from an unfair accuser. Almost every family member received a text message where she accused you of simply envying her happiness and conflicts that she never created. They supported her, forgaining her behavior against the background of stress and motherhood. By the time the trial took place, your sister had become a hostage of her emotions and fear. The trial attracted great attention, feelings came to the surface, and the whole family suddenly found itself involved in this whirlpool of complicated relationships. The son-in-law actively defended his position, acting as a witness at the trial while not tiring to emphasize how important his son's safety is. You were left out of this process, and one day your sister, dissatisfied with the court decision, was able to contact you by knocking on your door. She came with despair in her eyes and a package of notes where her thoughts about the past, thoughts about how she could change her life were recorded. You couldn't take down the anger and pain she caused you. After a few minutes of silence, the widow of chilling calm, you decided to come to a reasonable agreement. But soon they realized that the invisible barrier between you, which arose after all these months of loneliness and misunderstanding, remains insurmountable. Your sister switched to the role of the victim again. She again threw hatred on you, announcing that they were ready to pounce on herself at any time if she allows it. The decision was not yours, and although your sister tried to see the light, she still wanted to leave the charges behind. When you read about it, only one thing became clear. She was not ready to take responsibility for her actions, and your son-in-law was not going to stand aside. In the end, the son-in-law won the court. He received temporary custody of Maxim. The sister, who found herself in isolation, continued to try to establish contact with her idle relatives, who, summarizing their words, continued to turn a blind eye to the true nature of her behavior. Every time she tried to establish contact with you or others, everything ended negatively, emphasizing the position of the losing side. Each member of the family is now faced with a choice, either to support the eternal struggle that began with a simple incident or to take a step back and allow events to develop beyond their control. Sincere and open conversations about what was really happening became less and less possible. A note about the possibility of professional assistance urgently surfaced every week. One day they could have grouped their feet, but years of tangled accusations and a crisis of full mutual understanding left the family on the edge of the abyss. You continued to collect your collection of life experience, testing your boundaries and prioritizing your own independent existence. The situation, which once seemed straightforward and understandable, turned into a reversible, multi-layered test. The decision on whether to follow the instructions of the elders or distance yourself from them stopped the game, and you quickly found out that it is important to think about your interests in this process. Months later, your relationship with your son-in-law has strengthened to the level of open trust in talking about the future and protecting individual selves. All these difficulties have become lessons to help you prioritize your life. Family ties will never be the same as before, but you have learned to hope that one day the day will come when understanding and healing will reconnect you and your sister. This supplement opens up space for reflection on the complexities of family relationships and responsibility. The conflict can be considered unresolved, as the problems require significant efforts on both sides to achieve reconciliation.